Steve, it's not really a fair comparison. The guy's got 5 Champions Leagues. You know, I mean, we can see his heat map there. Look, he's everywhere, you know, and it was a tough game. It's a tough place to Goodison and go and play. I think he adapted really well. Obviously, he made a bit of a mistake with Anthony for the first one. But other than that, he's so calm, Steve. You know, I don't think he's phased. That's why I would have played him at the Etihad, because he can go there and compete in a game like that. If you've won 5 Champions Leagues alongside Kroos and Modric, he can control the game. He can manage the game. And I think he gives this team so much more than just a defensive stopper. We always, you know, criticise at times, he's defensive midfielder. He's more than that. He played a couple passes today, which could have changed the game. So I think with him and Cristiano in there, they just add a bit of leadership. And when you're in trouble, when you're under pressure, like they were towards the end of the game, having guys like Cristiano and Casemiro, it's only going to help.
And sometimes I think it's hard to quantify with numbers as well, isn't it? When you're on a pitch with someone like Casemiro or Ronaldo or whatever, what they give you is very hard, as I say. Well, we've seen the numbers that Ronaldo's got, but just in terms of the field, the way they sniff out danger, just the way they're never out of position. They always read the game in a certain way. Sometimes you just need to show someone one way because you might sniff out a danger on the other side. They just always seem to make the right decisions, especially someone in that position. So key, I think, as a sitting midfield player, to make the right decisions all the time, because there's a lot of it is not marking players, it's being in the right position to sniff out danger.
Well, I think the first part is you got to do the defensive job, which I think he did really well, but he had the best passing accuracy of any player in the final third today. So the point is, yeah, he can do that job, but also when he gets into further forward on the pitch, he's a very, very good passer of the ball, and I think we saw that. You know, you need guys to break up play and to be in the right position, especially to protect that back four. You know, the amount of goals that they conceded against Man City, that would have been the remit, I think, initially. But I think he gives them so much more in terms of passing the ball, his composure. Mo knows what it's like when you play up there. When the ball comes into you, it needs to be a good ball. Casemiro doesn't play bad passes, does he? You know, they're not bobbling into you. They come with pass appreciation, is what you say. And I think he had a good game today.
And in the centre of the park, Owen talks about calmness there. For the rest of the team and the forwards in particular, how important is that authority that he brings to United?
It is, and as I say, it's sometimes hard to put into words, it's hard to put into numbers, but just the feeling you get when you've got an experienced winner that's been there, seen it, done it all, that's got the full array of technique, that's got the discipline. You always know that you can attack with confidence, you can defend with confidence, knowing that he's going to be ushering teams in the right direction. You know, some of those goals that Manchester City scored at the Etihad, I'm convinced that if Casemiro was playing, then he would have.
Really?
He would have snuffed them out, definitely. There was one, I'm trying to think which one it was. It came from the left-back position into central midfield. In fact, I think it was the Haaland one where De Bruyne crossed it to the back post. That would have been snuffed out early in the piece, I reckon, in midfield if he had been playing alongside, let's say, McTominay. So I just think that, as I say, I'll go back to it, sometimes you just can't put numbers to it. But those experienced winners, that they just have. I bet you someone like him never gets beaten a five-a-side as well on the training pitch. They're just that type of players that just get it, game intelligence.
Well, if you think also to the partnership that he had with Modric and Kroos at Real Madrid, you know, he can have that with Eriksen and Bruno. You know, 2 really good attacking midfield players. He can sit at the base there. So it looks like it's a really good fit, I think, for the team. Obviously, Scott McTominay's done great when he's come in. But I think Scott's greatest attribute for me is his athleticism, that he can go box to box. We've seen that at times. We've popped up with big goals. When you play as a sitter, it's important that the position is always right. And I think with his experience, Casemiro, he's going to be in the right spot at the right time. We saw in the derby there were a couple of moments, as Mo said, on the counter-attack. If you're not in the right spot, the ball goes bump, 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 and it's in the back of the net. And I think we saw that there. Today, they looked like they had a bit more control of the game.
And the goal I'm referring to, actually, in the Manchester derby, Scott McTominay was out on the touchline when the ball then got played right through the middle, and that's probably the case in point.